Okay, this is trade recap for Monday, 3/23/2025. My replay data isn't loading for some reason, so I can't bar replay this, but I'm just going to talk about the price action. So, first of all, I'm frozen. My screen's frozen. Oh, okay, there we go. So, bias for today was bullish. I thought it was, really easy bullish bias because this crazy overnight move we had with the war news. I was thinking, I marked this low and this high, and I was like, if we get, but like we're not getting below this low. Basically, it was my thought process, and that ended up being correct. And then this high was a possible reversal point, so I was marking those. But clear bullish bias. Market opened. I faded a couple setups today. 2 setups, and then ended up taking one, so one trade on the day. This was actually the highest probability setup right here, was right at market open, because this was such beautiful price like movement. We had a low volume node. Low volume node right there, and this was just such a beautiful, like the way price was moving here too. We came down, immediately spike these 2 buyers, and then just rip back up. And if we had an aggressive buyer enter here, I totally, this would have been a setup right here to take this up to this high. Basically, this would have been a beautiful setup. Amazing trade, but it didn't end up giving me an entry. So holy crap, the tape's going crazy. Okay, getting to move down. So that was the first setup. Unfortunately, it wasn't a real setup. And then the second one was right here. I was looking at this on the 5-minute, and this was decent. Probably would have been like a B setup, because on the 5-minute we did have a push. And when I was looking at this, I was just thinking, the reason I didn't take this basically is because, this was a possible reversal point, and I thought, we were going to reverse here, especially after I saw this. Like, the reason I didn't take both these setups basically because there was another setup right here, which the entry for this setup would have been, oh wait, hold on, this is going back too far. So I was taking from this candle here. The entry for this setup would have been right here. That would have been the trade, and then the entry for this setup, which was also a decent setup, and the reason I was even considering these was because there was a low volume node here, I believe. Yeah. There's this area of low volume here, and so I was kind of taking these ideas off of this low volume node. I feel like I had my volume profile, I guess it was right here. Yeah, so this was where I had it. So this looks really good in hindsight. The reason I didn't take this was just because it wasn't the clearest setup. I don't know. Looking back at this, I probably could have taken this first one. This second one was, I think, a little less clear, because obviously when I see this kind of price movement, I'd have wanted to enter like on the next candle with my stop below here, targeting this high. Like that, but we didn't get an actual entry until like right here. And this, at this point, the risk, it would have been worth it. Like, that's fine, I guess, but I feel like we just had too many candles, so I didn't end up taking it. It wasn't the clearest. It wasn't the clearest setup. So after I definitely could have taken it though, because after that we got this push up. I realized this was not a reversal. When this was forming on the 5-minute, this kind of looked like it could have been a reversal, because we took the high, we had absorption of buyers. Like, it was definitely looking like a reversal. But anyway, we end up ripping up, and we just kind of ripped through this high. And the next setup I was looking at was this, and this is the setup I actually ended up taking. And I was basically waiting. I mean, this was a nice push up we had. We started the push from like right here. I was basically waiting at this point. I pretty much knew at this point we were going to be bullish. It looked like it. And then the more price action happened, I was like, oh, maybe we're not going to be bullish. But still, this looks like a retrace. It doesn't really look like this is a move down. And then eventually we got, and there was a low volume node here too. This was another reason why I had pretty high conviction here. We hadn't hit the low volume node yet. And then finally down here at 8:45, we hit the low volume node. And the way this formed was so perfect. I mean, this was perfect absorption, and then we have the buyer right here on the exact same candle. And I entered right there on this aggressive buyer. We immediately got to push up. So my original target was actually this high, which would have been an awesome trade. And honestly, so what happened basically was I was watching this. I saw this fail. I ended up reducing some risk to below this low, and then I reduced a little further to below this low. But the problem with this trade essentially was that it just didn't work out immediately. Like after this chop, like we should have kind of had an expansion up here quick, but we didn't. Ended up chopping more, and what happened was after we got this push up, I was looking to move my stop to break even. After we got this push up, I moved it to break even, and then what I did was I actually trailed my stop to underneath this low because I just didn't want to give profit back to the market, and honestly, it did end up being a good call, but this trade would have been, I mean, this would have been a 1 to 2.5. This would have been my daily profit target. I mean, $600 is pretty good. So anyway, I moved my stop onto this high and ended up getting stopped out for profit. And this trade actually, if I left my stop at break even, we actually would have gotten right up here within one tick of my take profit and then just absolutely dumped down and stopped me out of break even. So, yeah, I'm not too... I think moving my stop up here was good. I mean, it was at least a 1-to-1. So if I can get my stop into, 1-to-1 range, that's fine. But other than that, I'd say I traded decently well. I'd give myself like a B. I think what I could have done, honestly, was once this trade was like $500 in profit, I could have just taken it off, and that's my max daily win and loss, so I could have just taken it off there and said, okay, that's the day. But either way, I ended up getting stopped out here decently in profit for the day, and now we're just kind of dumping down. Wow, we're really dumping down. Gonna take out this low now. But that is pretty much it. Obviously, no more trades for me. Too late in the day now. I could have maybe taken this short right here. But, I don't know. It's not very clear. So, I'm pretty happy with the way I traded, honestly, overall. Like, this was definitely a really good setup. So, that's going to do it for me. Up on the day, up on the week. It's Monday, so... hopefully we'll get some little bit better price movement because this wasn't too bad, but it definitely wasn't the greatest today. So anyway, that'll do it for today.